guys. Here we are. So, we've made it to Otter Creek, obviously, and you've seen lives previous to this video, so you know we're here, and we're camped out here at the Shady Oaks Campground, and we went to the festival today, and guess what we have coming up, though? We got to stay focused. You got the festival.
What's coming up?
You had Christmas in the Creek, and then in a couple of days, we got the town hall meeting coming up.
The town hall meeting, which we told you guys we were going to attend so we could shoot it out live. Mm-hmm. And since we're here anyway, and everybody always wants to see what's happening, so why not?
So there were more people that want us to follow the meeting than there were those that don't want to talk about it. So if this isn't for you, don't watch it. Catch the next video. If this is something, this is the pre-meeting video. So we are going to talk about what's on the agenda.
I know, and I got to pull that up right now.
So what you got there?
My phone was making a lot of noise, so I had to say, shh, we're busy right now.
That's right.
So, and this is an amended agenda, I see, so I guess they did have another agenda hanging up. I don't know what got changed because I didn't see that other agenda. So the meeting will be Tuesday, December 17th at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. And it looks like a pretty clean, short agenda.
That's good.
And that's what they've been doing a lot of is shorter meetings, I've noticed. Mm-hmm. So again, you have the usual call to order, the pledge, roll call. Yeah. Roll call. So those are the thing. And again, it does say public comment reminder. In order to be acknowledged, you need to fill out a card and put it in the box. Okay. I know that was an important addition they added. And I know that is basically they want you to fill out the comment cards because that needs to go into the minutes. So it makes it easier to type up the minutes when they have that little
card to kind of
record of who asked what. Yeah. So that's pretty common in most towns to do. And I know when you come up, you're supposed to state your name and usually where you live to put that on the record as well.
But you know, if they were videoing the meetings, and they would have record of everything.
Correct.
This wouldn't really be necessary.
Correct.
But I digress. I'm going to be good.
I know there's many, I agree. I mean,
we've had so many conversations about the meeting and the direction of the town hall, but we're just going to follow the agenda, be good Samaritans, support the meeting, and just keep our personal comments to a minimum.
Well, I mean, everybody knows how I feel about public comments because I had them in two different spots during the meetings. I believe I encourage public comments and or questions. I don't care if it was a comment, statement, or a question. Doesn't matter to me. I believe that town hall meetings is the time to talk about issues, and I always encouraged it so everybody knows where I stand on that already, and I don't mind reiterating that I encourage people to speak, to have a voice. It is your town, and the meetings are the place to address any concerns or issues, or maybe even congratulations, maybe in order. Whatever the case may be, that should be the time to address those. So that's personally how I feel. I encourage it.
And I feel the same way. I encourage comments and questions.
They immediately took the 2 spots out and dropped it down to 1. So that's a little less encouragement. Everybody does things differently.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to squelch the questions to me. But we'll see what happens.
Well, no more questions are allowed. It's only comments. You're not allowed to ask questions.
See, I think that's really completely wrong.
So I don't. I personally don't know. I personally don't know what the reasoning is for that, But
we used to have questions for one of the previous mayors, and what would he do? He shut the meeting
he
down.
would just, meeting adjourned. So, you weren't allowed to comment or ask questions. When it got to public comment,
right.
He didn't want to hear from anybody, Mr. Meeks.
Yeah.
So
it kind of looks like it's going more in that direction instead of in a positive direction.
Well, I certainly would hope not.
We hope not, and so we'll see what happens.
Maybe there's just some lost in translation kind of communication going on. We'll give the benefit of the doubt and hope that is the situation. But I find that encouraging people to have a voice helps alleviate a lot of miscommunications.
Yes, and it also alleviates the skepticism and what's happening behind closed doors question.
Right. So I'm not really sure about all that, but everybody knows my take on those things and where I stand. And again, it's not, I do not run it. I only comment on it.
That's all we're doing now. It's our opinion. It's our opinion. So you watch the meeting and you can tell us what you think, or you cannot tell us what you think, or you can just think for yourself.
And there's a lot of people who ask a lot of questions or have a lot of comments, so I like to try to relay that information back to you, as well as try to answer some of the questions that you have asked on here about why they're not doing certain things anymore. So that is why we give our opinion. We're answering some people's questions as we're bringing this information to you. So we'll answer as many questions about things as we can.
Yeah.
But, and then again, after that, they go into the approval of this agenda. And this is also the time, if you want to add anything into the agenda, where you would do so and approve it going forward.
Another thing they skipped real quick too, but they've been skipping them. They took them out since you left, was the invocation. And I think that's very important. We went to our local town hall meeting up in Tennessee, and they have an invocation. So,
and the towns around here do as well.
Yeah. So, and they let you make comments throughout the meeting. They did.
I mean, most towns do that.
Most small towns do that,
from what I've seen.
And this is a very small town.
And then you'll have the approval of the minutes from the November 19th meeting. And those usually have been going forward fairly easily without Don there. So he was the only one who really objected to everything. Yeah.
The sky's blue. I object. I adjourn the meeting. I object.
So I don't know. And then we go into the old business.
Ooh, old business.
Old business.
What is that? Business that's old, right?
Yeah.
What do they got?
Like, it says nothing at this time. So I guess there is no old business. It also does say, FYI, the Christmas lighting contest will continue until the end of this month of December, and the winner will be chosen at the January meeting. Because originally it did say last meeting that they would choose at this meeting, but, you know, you should go till the end of the month, so they put that in. But it's a nice thing to do. I did notice driving around, Shady Oaks Campground has a very nice display.
You might win.
They're even doing their own little contest in the campground for the campers to win, that Shady Oaks is doing separately outside of the town. And there was a couple other houses I've seen next to Town Hall. They have a nice display going on. We haven't really drove the whole town at night to see all of who has lights up, but there's a few contenders, and so far I think Shady Oaks is the most lit up that I've seen anyway.
I would vote for them, but I don't have a vote, and I'm okay with that.
But I think it's great. It helps promote the Christmas spirit and gets everybody into it, so I love that they carried that over from last year.
Yep.
That's great. And then we go into new business.
Uh-oh, new business.
New business. Now there's some serious business going on. It's the notice of elections.
Oh.
So we do have elections again in April.
Right around the corner.
So normally before they were doing the notice of elections, I want to say in October, and they decided to move that into December so that people wouldn't forget in that couple month time frame because the qualifying dates will be in January. So for the 2025 election, they will have the following seats available. There's 3 2-year seats and 1 1-year seat. So that's a lot of seats up. That's a total of 4 seats. So
that's happened before, and it was 9 people were running, remember?
That's gonna change the board possibly once again. It depends who's running again, because whose all seats will be up. I believe Zim's.
I think Laura Mott's the only one staying.
I think you're right, and all the rest will be up because
Rex
remember
he was just placed there because there was a vacancy, and Joseph is another vacancy, but they didn't fill it.
Well, he was one of the 1-year seats. Correct. Just like Carl.
Correct.
Carl and Joseph were those 1-year seats, and then Rex was Dawn's seat. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's where that went, and that's why there's so many up. So Laura Mott is the only one that will stay.
Another year.
Another
so
year.
That should be a 2-year seat. And then Zim's is a 2-year seat.
Yep, and then of course, after the election at the first meeting, I believe in May is when they do it now, because originally it was the first meeting after the election, which was still in April, that they would vote for the mayor. But I think at some point it got changed to the May meeting where they would vote who the new mayor is.
And I think that's what their charter says. Now, had they changed it with an ordinance, they could have moved it up. But
well, originally in the charter, it was the April one. Then when they changed the language of the elections and made it kind of hokey, it got changed to May. So originally when they changed that information, they really didn't read it right. I'm not sure who wrote it. But before they all voted on it, there was some stuff that didn't jive, and they still voted it in anyway because it wasn't really read, and it switched it to May.
Okay.
And I guess now they've decided they want to keep it in May because they left it when they rewrote it once again. So
yeah,
I'm not really sure I understand that, but it is what it is.
This is a good place for me to insert something else, whether it's relative to this meeting or not. Well, we've had a few months since Madam Mayor left, and I think Zim really should have been proactive on a lot of these ordinances to clarify the charter, because just as you exampled right there, the charter is vague and can be misinterpreted as to meaning different things. And over the years, many of the mayors in the past have interpreted them different and applied what they wanted to apply. That's the problem with this old charter, is that it's too vague and it's not specific enough. So I would have liked to have seen some ordinances rolled out to fix some of this. That comes from doing workshops. They could have had special meetings, extra meetings in addition to the one meeting, because one meeting's not enough. And they could have gotten some of these done before this change of board members. Now I think what's going to happen, it's so late, they're not going to roll out these ordinances to help clarify the charter. And then once again, the new board is going to be having to interpret this old charter, and they can kind of twist the wording of it because it is written in such a way that it's very vague, and they can, construe it to mean what they want it to mean. That has happened. That's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Didn't mean to interject, but it kind of went in line with what you just said. Okay, I got it off my shoulders.
Is that your soapbox?
That's my soapbox for this meeting, or any of the meeting. I'm talking in general.
So your qualifying dates will be from January 20th of 2025 from 12 p.m. and ending on Friday, January 24th at 12 p.m. So you got to get in on that time frame, otherwise you can't run. So don't be a minute late, because it closes at 12, and that's official stuff, and that's the way it has to be done. I mean, you can't even leave the stuff in the box because it's late then. So it has to be by those deadlines. And of course, they'll post more information at the beginning of January regarding those seats.
And those time
to keep everybody remembering that, which is another reason they wanted to do the announcement in December, to keep it fresh in everybody's mind, because it's important. And you need to make sure people run and those spots are filled. And I hope they have a nice, smooth election and another good board going forward.
And whoever the board is, or whoever the mayor ends up being voted on by the new members of the board, I hope that transition is smooth. Not just someone throwing the keys across the table and saying, run with it.
Yeah.
That's what happened to you.
It's terrible. You need to support new people coming in. Again, if you care about the town and the people who live in it, those are things you will want to do. So, I mean, you can't act like somebody who got their feelings hurt if you care about the town. Because that's what it boils down to. Do you care about the town? And if you don't care about the town, I don't think that's a position you should be in.
I think if you care about the town too, talking about the festival, there were a lot of people, regular residents here, that did not show up.
Yeah, I noticed that myself, that there was a lot of residents who live in the town that did not show up to support their town.
And some of these names may not surprise you. Don didn't show up. Russell didn't show up. Mary didn't show up. Russell's wife, what's her name?
Mary Jane.
She didn't show up. Stuart didn't show up.
No, didn't see him.
And I didn't see Richard until the very end.
Yeah, I saw Richard at the end.
Very end.
And he was even picking up some trash as he was walking down the street.
Yeah, but he was there.
Yeah, he was there. There was another gentleman, and I can't remember his
name. The
Hudson
sisters were there.
Yes, they were all there in full force.
And I think we saw
giving
Missy
out
there.
stuff. It was wonderful.
Yeah. And a lot of the helpers are also at the schoolhouse helping. So the Hudson sisters, they were with Jeremy and the crew, and they were making packages for the kids, and they brought them over this morning.
Candy and all kinds of stuff.
So
they are an absolute blessing.
Yeah, they're great people.
So it was good to see them out there, but I
didn't see Gail anywhere. You
no, I haven't seen Gail at all since we've been here, actually.
So,
yeah, there's a lot of people that I did not see there.
They could be busy and they're out of town.
Yeah, you never know with that. I didn't see Dan Shannon there either.
Yeah,
but
so
there's quite a few people I did not see.
Yeah,
so.
and it's kind of disheartening. And we didn't see Harley Grace. We would have liked to have seen Harley Grace come and at least get some toys. We would have said nothing to Lynette if she had come.
I did see Charlie. Remember, he used to go to the Bible study at the church.
Was he there?
I did see him walking around.
How's he doing? I didn't catch him.
He looked well, so it was nice to see him.
That's good. He teaches a lot of the Bible study there at the Otter Creek Baptist Church, and we went through Revelations with him.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent
man. Very intelligent guy. High IQ.
I'm not sure if he lives in Gulf Hammock, though, but it was nice he came out, and he usually does take pictures, so he might have been taking some pictures while he was there, but again, nice to see. Other than that, I don't see anybody else from the church there.
No.
But the weather was nice.
Weather was good.
And the children were so happy and getting toys. They were so cute. I love seeing that.
And I think overall, the festival was good. I don't know if I would classify it a complete success because the number of people, we were expecting many more people.
Well, it was their first year doing it, so it's probably a huge learning curve.
It is. It was well set up and well organized. It was safe. You had the county sheriff people were there, and lots of them, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, there was a lot there. I was surprised to see so many.
Maybe too
and
many.
Everybody was very nice. I saw the Chiefland Fire Department there. That was
and
nice.
They're using the brush truck that you had provided them and did that deal. So they talked about that.
Yeah, they said how useful the truck has been for them. So it was very nice to hear that it was being utilized in such a wonderful way to help people rather than it just sitting there being something that costs the town money. It's actually useful to Chiefland and they are also who covers any fire emergencies for Otter Creek. So it's a win-win for Otter Creek too. If they need to use that brush truck to do something in Otter Creek, that comes right back in full circle. So it's a blessing to them, and they were very thankful. So that was wonderful to hear.
I think that deal you did, and assigning Russell the 1-year term, and describing, you actually listed all the reasons why he deserved a 1-year term. I think those are your two big accomplishments. Now, you did other things too, but to me, those were the two big wins for me.
Okay.
Or, you know, what I think, my personal opinion.
All right. Well, we kind of got off a little course
there. Bit, but it's still town hall.
It happens sometimes.
It did. Yeah,
we're still talking about Otter Creek.
Yeah.
And what happened there. And then we go into the department reports. I don't see any special notes in any of the subjects or any certain people assigned anymore. But again, you have the administration, which is Belinda. You have the maintenance, which will be Richard. You'll have public safety, which for a while they had Laura Mott's name there. Now nobody's name is there. And then you have the building and zoning and water, which usually Zim covers. So we'll hear, hopefully everything is good. I don't know if they've got the water completely back online yet. They just touched on that a little bit last time, right? So hopefully something more has happened with that.
Now for the live, we plan on using a microphone and setting the microphone in front of Zim. He's the lowest speaking person, and he does the most talking. So that's where we're going to put it. But right away when we go live, if you're not able to hear other conversations and you're not hearing Zim that well, I will disconnect it and continue the meeting, and we'll just have to go without the mic. But we intend to employ the mic at Zim's position, and hopefully it'll pick up Rex and Carl and Belinda and the attorney and Laura, and it'll be okay.
Fingers crossed. So, well, you only have 2 mics, so
yes. We're only going to employ
if you
one.
Used them both, I don't know where you would set the other one, but think about it.
Yeah, maybe halfway down the table. But the last time we used 2 mics, we got that watering sound, didn't we? Or was that with the old mics?
That was with the old mics.
Okay.
We haven't really used the new mics that much to do any testing.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It might be a test.
It's always a test, buddy. Always.
Just like the phone rotation thing. The settings were correct on the phone. My phone is acting stupid. It has the auto orientation setting. But you have to... We did talk to Jeremy about that after the fact during lunch. And he says, well, let's just do a mock live right now. And so we did. And I hit the orientation and then went live, and it worked fine. I thought that's what I had always been doing. So
I don't know.
I'm still scratching my head on that one.
I don't know.
So
I know it worked fine on my phone.
Yeah, so I think it's a phone issue. But
might be the phone, might be the user.
Might
be both.
Might be the user. I don't know.
Not
Jeremy
really
watched me do it, and he's like, there you go. And it worked fine. And I'm like, okay, what did I do?
And then we go into the announcements. And you have the children's table, and they are in Otter Creek 3 different times. And that's nice because they come and they give out food. And there are some people that come. I noticed usually when they came, it was people from Gulf Hammock that came over. And not a lot of the people in Otter Creek took advantage of that for whatever reason. I'm not sure. And then they will have the Wackasasa water and wastewater meeting. This month it's going to be on that Wednesday, which is December 18th. It will be held down in Cedar Key at 1 p.m. Everybody is welcome. It's open to the public. And they do rotate that meeting through Cedar Key, Otter Creek, and Bronson. And we have covered that in the past, but we're not going to cover it this time. It's pretty dry. And unless you live here, it really... I mean, I guess a lot of that's true, that if it doesn't apply to you, you don't live here. But it's so far out.
Like, it's not something that's going to happen anytime soon. It's something that's projected way out.
Yeah, those type of things take so many years,
they take
unfortunately,
years.
because I know everybody would love to benefit from that clean water.
Yeah.
Cedar Key may be the biggest one who's hopeful for that, because it's a lot of people that affects even more than Otter Creek.
Correct.
So they'll be waiting a little while. But if anybody wants to attend, it will be held down in Cedar Key at 510 3rd Street at 1 p.m. Wednesday, December 18th. And then we roll right into the public comments. And members of the public have 3 minutes to speak to the council on any one topic. And from what I'm understanding, that will be in the form of a comment and not a question. So, and again, they do not want you discussing your water bills at this time. Those are
private
things you
matter.
do during normal business hours, not at the town hall meeting. But at one time, it was in the charter that the town hall meeting was the time to discuss your bill. And I'm sure that's way old practices. So
another reason the charter needs to be amended.
So they do want your topic to pertain to the town and to also be respectful, please.
Of course.
So, and the public says it's always encouraged to visit town hall during scheduled business hours, to leave comments in the drop box at any time, to be reviewed, addressed, and added to the agenda if necessary. Now, to my knowledge, most people did not do that. So
I have a question for you at the end when you're done.
But I do encourage people to ask questions, and even if you don't like asking questions at the town hall, I know Belinda is there and can answer questions in normal business hours, or bring it up to the board maybe on your behalf. But if you have questions about something, it's your town, you live here, I do believe you should have the right to get those questions answered.
Okay, are you ready?
I don't know.
I wasn't sure how to frame this question, but
is this going to be a question or a comment, please?
This is going to be a question. Do you think there was anything that the town could have done different? The town, meaning the board, Zim, Belinda, any of them, could have done to make maybe Christmas in the Creek, Christmas in the Creek and the festival more support, like more people coming.
More successful?
Yeah.
Personally, if I would have been here, or what I think they could have done is advertise it more. From what I heard from a lot of locals, is that it wasn't advertised very well, if at all.
Right.
Even people in surrounding towns didn't know about it. So I feel that they missed out on having more people come. Mm-hmm. And when more people come, it showcases your town. Mm-hmm. It gets people out meeting each other. You can do a lot of networking. There's local businesses that could have benefited from the exposure. And
this is something that really Zim and Belinda are not really that savvy with, the techie stuff. So I think if they had posted this more, let's compare it with Deanna. Deanna's on it. Deanna is incredible.
She is.
And I believe, I don't know that she even did anything with this either, but she didn't have to.
Well, that's not her job.
That's not her job. There's
other board members that could have stepped up to the plate and done more.
I know Laura knows how to do it.
I mean, everybody's using Facebook. Now, Zim, he does not.
He doesn't.
But there's other members of the board. Mm-hmm. Zim and Belinda are the most busy of the board members, and clerk, of course.
They're very busy.
But there's other board members that could have stepped up to the plate to do a few things. Everybody knows how to use Facebook. You could post on all the groups.
Do you think they weren't asked to do it, or they just didn't step up to offer their... It's hard to say.
I don't know, because I wasn't here, but I know personally I would have offered to do those things, even if I was just a citizen living here, because I like to be helpful. I like things to be successful. and it benefits everybody, and so many more children could have got toys.
Now, they put signs up on the road, but that's not enough. You're not going to get enough
but
people.
I would suggest for future years that there be more advertising, and again, it's a learning curve.
Yep, I would have hit, I think Levy County has 1, 2, or maybe even 3 Facebook groups. You could have hit all of those groups.
Oh, there's tons of Facebook groups.
There is, but there's 3 that specifically say Levy County. So you got Levy County Facebook groups, then you got Chiefland Facebook groups. You could have hit each of the little town Facebook groups. You could have hit about 20 groups, and then it would have reached 30,000 people.
So, and that's what you have to do when you hold an event like this, is you sit back. What I hope they do is sit as a group later and discuss where they saw successes, what failures they saw, because nothing's ever perfect and everything is always a learning experience. So, and what can you take away from that to do better next time?
In the military, when we always went on an exercise, and that's usually a commander's evaluation is what it is. You're going out supporting the company commander. He's being evaluated. And at the end, they call it an AAR. It's an after-action review. It's what are the things we did well, what are the things we didn't do well. You'll also hear it as, what are your 3 ups and 3 downs? Give me your 3 ups. Name me 3 things that they did really well. And then name me 3 things they didn't do so well they need to work on. That's what they should do here, is have an after-action review and talk about the things they did well and the things they could do better.
Because there's always those things. I mean, that's what you do. You learn.
And that's what good leaders do. They should have a meeting just for that.
Not to take anything away, I want to give huge kudos to Zim, to Belinda, to Rex, to Carl.
A lot on their plate.
All 4 of them were there at the festival doing hard work, contributing beforehand. So I commend those 4 members of the board, and of course Belinda's the clerk. They did a lot of work, and they did a great job, and it was beautiful to see everybody who came together, who did all the hard work. Thankful to Jeremy and George for all they did, and all the beautiful, wonderful people that came on their behalf to help volunteer to get it set up, and it's all for the children. It was beautiful to see all these people with big hearts coming together to do something beautiful. It
was fun to watch.
And that's when you really see God at work, when people are coming together doing such beautiful things. Everybody was invited. It was open to everyone. It was positive, and positive things were going on. I know I heard, and I won't say any names, that there was a couple of people there who made a few negative comments, and I think that's sad because it is for the children and it's a good thing, but they didn't get any bad responses to their bad comments. No. Everybody was there to show love, and that's exactly what happened. So nobody responded in any kind of way to that. Right. And I pray for those people again to have soft hearts so they can go forward in the future and do good things and not be so negative, because it doesn't need to be like that. And I'm just, again, blessed to have been part of this. I know Brett was very helpful throughout the day and the days beforehand too. And it was just so nice to see all the little kids, and they were so excited, and they're showing you what Santa gave them, and that's what it's all about, good stuff. Yeah. So I thought it was wonderful, and I look forward to
And if I had a question
Tuesday's
for the board
meeting.
At the meeting, that's probably the question I would have pitched, but I'm just going to stick it in my pocket.
Yep, it's for the town and the people who live here to ask questions or make comments. It's not for us to do so.
Correct.
And so we will be there recording, but we will not be asking any questions.
We'll be behaving and listening.
Or saying any comments.
We said them all right here.
If I were to make a comment at the meeting, it would be to give kudos to the town board members and the townspeople who came out to help make it's
So
successful.
only one didn't come out. So
On the board?
Yep.
Laura Mott.
Laura Mott didn't show up.
She did not show up, so
that's unfortunate.
it is, but
you
know,
it speaks volumes to what people really care about. So we don't really have to comment. It comments for itself.
Yeah.
So
too bad, so sad.
Is that all you got for the pre-meeting?
That's all I got. So we are going to be live.
We'll be live tomorrow, a few minutes before the meeting. We'll probably go live 20 till 7 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Well, the meeting starts at 7, so you usually go live
before that.
Before that, it depends on what time you plan on getting there. Back in the day, we used to get there about half an hour early and start around 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be somewhere between 6:30 and 6:45ish, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And just to show you, I don't know if there'll be extra people. I know the meetings lately that has not had many in attendance, but there may be more in attendance at this meeting. We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So.
And remember to yell at me right away and let me know if that mic is working. Because if it's not, I can unplug it.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it does.
Yell at him.
I'm hoping it'll be better.
Do it.
And I'm hoping it's not sideways.
Yeah, no sideways.
No sideways.
No sideways, nothing. And bring your boom chicka pop.
Boom chicka pop. We'll be there and be square. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
All right. Love y'all and take care of each other and just spread the love.
From Otter Creek. We'll see ya.
Bye.